Hey everybody, Kimo Sabe here, giving you an update since we kind of had some movement down. See a pattern emerging. This is kind of what I was expecting for now. I'm kind of expecting it to come down here and either take this liquidity or pop up, take upper liquidity and come back down. What we have here, and on the daily chart, you can see this pattern kind of emerging where you have the spikes here, 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes at the high, and maybe you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes to the low. Maybe it holds this previous support for now and leaves this liquidity for later, but you do have a lower low close on the daily here. So maybe you get a lower high somewhere around 85 and then come down and push down. I'm still expecting this liquidity to be taken somehow, some way. So expect lower prices eventually. We'll see where it comes from. How to trade it? Well, in the lower time frames, you could probably find an entry, but for now, on a daily trend, you need this to close back above 88 to potentially get a higher high than a higher low. Or you trade the smaller time frames and you're quick to take profits at previous support that would likely turn to resistance at 85.7 area, something like that. A little fair value gap there. We can mark that off on the daily here. Well, 85.812 is kind of the top of that fair value gap, so you might play around somewhere in between there for a little bit in the coming days. Zooming out to the rest of the structure, the leg that I'm currently matching it, which is why I expected the move down to kind of mimic this move from this early December 10th or so. This leg now kind of doesn't look like that one. It's looking more like this previous leg. So we may come down, grab that liquidity, and never look back if it's mimicking this leg. And this is already completed up to there. It's just a little short. Yeah, it's worth a shot. We do see volume declining since the lows were hit. We have nothing but declining volume. So no volumes coming in. There's no heavy interest in buying or selling, and that's why you're stuck in a range. So if you break out to the upside, volume may step in. If you break down, volume may also step in. So you're in a coin flip area, and you need to have your stop losses in place, your invalidations in place. Currently, any buy setup from this area, your stop loss has to be that low. Zooming into the 4-hour chart here, you can see where these liquidities are. That's where stop losses are going to get taken most likely. And there's support down there. I'm expecting all those liquidities to eventually be taken. Like I said, on the daily, 4-hour trend locally is down, lower low, lower high. But this pattern looks like it's almost complete. I'll draw that out for us in a second. But we have a potential for a higher high to come in sometime, either on this stab down or the next one. You get a higher high. Ideally, I guess we got 2 hours left to close on this candle. You'd see a 4-hour engulfing candle that then closes up there. Then your buy setup would be at the daily open at 82.379. And that would be a bullish engulfing candle, order block, and higher high. Try to buy the higher low at the daily open. Maybe sometime in New York session if that gets hit. So drawing out the pattern, I have some kind of matching pattern here that completed that leg down. Then you have this move up, which matches that move up, and then current move down, be this leg, and this leg. So maybe you get some kind of whipsaw and then one final low to take out that liquidity, and that would be your reaccumulation formation, and then get a higher high close, higher low, and then look to take 85 for the liquidities up here, and this will be a major liquidity target in the future at 89,000, maybe as high up as like 96,000 or something like that. depends on how bullish it wants to get. But there's a principle in like Elliott wave theory, and it's common in markets, just market symmetry. What begins with five ends in five. So I tend to look at waves the way they start, they'll complete in a similar manner. So if we have this as a distribution, watch for an accumulation to happen potentially. And you know when it's done, when you have a swing failure or you have a higher high close, you buy the higher low and then target higher prices. How far down does it go? Nobody knows, but it's currently making lower lows and lower highs, and this can result in another lower high, and that can be your ABC. This whole pattern can repeat all the way down there, and it'll be touching the lows from early March. So that can be the pattern that's completing. I don't know, and I won't know until it invalidates these small legs or creates a higher high. That's something that you don't have in any of this. You don't have a higher high close on a 4 hour basis. So lower low or lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, or high, all the way down. So you trade the trend until the trend ends, and the trend only ends when you get a higher high close. So that can come from here, or it comes from further down. But it is in the area that I was watching for a potential reversal to come in and some upside. Doesn't have to go to upper liquidities. Maybe they save that for later, but probably at least to check that as resistance. Bringing it down to a 1 hour chart, I think you can see the pattern emerging a little more clearly. How that matches that. Then you have the move down that broke the lows. So that mimics that, in my opinion. So now I'm kind of watching for this to repeat, something like that. And if that does, then it tells me you might have one more leg down to match that, and then that pattern could complete. From there, you close back above the daily open, or you close a higher high, take the higher low, take it up, because then I have a completed pattern to the downside. You have the distribution there, reaccumulation there, and potentially push up for higher liquidities. So watch for a few more stabs down there, maybe draw a trend line down here, and you'd have that grinding similar to the way that was grinding there. So you might have a few more stabs down like that before going back up. So looks like accumulation on a low time frame like this, similar to that low time frame distribution up there. Just kind of expecting a similar type of reaccumulation down here and breakout, back test, maybe come up for there. Kind of the way I'm looking at things right now. Probably have some relief in the market, at least this week. You do have, of course, the Trump tariffs that are enacted on Tuesday. I don't know if that's bullish or bearish for markets per se. I don't think it's great for world economies, but markets are not the economy and should be treated separately because they move independently of one another. It's all about liquidity. It's all about where the trades happen, where the money is flowing. You can see gold making massively new all-time highs. So obviously money is flowing into gold, and the S&P 500 is not doing too good. So you do need some relief there as well. Maybe get another bounce. We'll see what that looks like, and maybe I'll do a video on that one tomorrow because there is some action happening in gold and S&P 500 while Bitcoin bores us all to sleep. And we wait for the little setups and make the trades appropriately. Keep your stops tight. Have a good night. If you do get a higher high close, that becomes your stop loss, and try to buy the higher low for a push up. Yeah, that's the way I'm playing it. So have a good night. Keep them stops tight.